Hello Spice Chicks fans. This is the recipe that you've been asking me for over 3 years. If you've purchased my honey-do list, the honey chipotle, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the jewel of our crop. It is our #1 bestseller. It has pure granulated honey, sea salt, chipotle, smoked paprika, onion, Italian herbs, and a few other things. I can't give all my secrets away. You know I have a big kiss and tell, but that's all you get. So anyway, today I'm going to do that recipe that you have all been asking me for over and over again. And some of you have gotten it at market. Hopefully you remembered it as you went shopping and got home. If you didn't, I'm going to do it for you today. Super simple, you guys. It's got 5 ingredients, including the salmon. How easy can that be? So let's start out with how to pick the best piece of salmon. Now, at the market, I'm kind of a pain in the butt. I'm a pain because I want to smell my fish before I buy it. And the reason is this: when you buy a piece of salmon or any piece of fish, when you smell it, it should smell a little bit like fish. Not scream fish at you. It should smell lightly of fish. Okay, when you get it home, what you want to do is get it a nice, good wash. And then run your hands down the plank to make sure that all the bones were removed. You know, nobody likes to bite into a big fish bone, and we definitely don't want to swallow one. So just run your hands down the plank. Now, most of the time, you can get the bones out with your fingers, but if you can't, grab your tweezers. You know, those tweezers, and pull the bones out, holding down to the flesh. Pull the bones out. Get rid of them before you cook it. That way no one gets a surprise that they really don't want. The next thing we do, foil line a cookie sheet. And the reason for this is that as it cooks, the skin is going to adhere to the foil. So when you serve the salmon, you're just going to take a spatula and the fish will come right off. No skin. Best kept secret ever. You might have known it, but if you didn't, there you go. Then just start out with our rub. And I like to put mine in a bowl because I don't want to touch things with fishy hands and put it back in the cabinet. Ew. You don't want to do that, right? So be generous with this. Sprinkle it on. And they call it a rub for a reason. You're going to rub it in. Yep. Now, rubs always contain salt and sugar. They do. And most of the time, if I'm not cooking fish, if I'm cooking steak or chicken, I would recommend that you let a rub sit for a couple of hours in the fridge. But with fish, the sea salt can actually start cooking the meat before we get to it. Now, I'm not shy with my rub. If you don't like as much spice, you can go lighter. That's not a problem. It's perfectly fine. But I like mine very well coated. I'm going to tell you why. As this cooks down, it's going to create a crust on top. With all that honey, it's going to form a nice crust and brown and caramelize. Absolutely gorgeous. So I don't go mild with mine. I go fairly heavy. I need to wash my hands, as you will too, real quick. And then the second part of this recipe is hyper simple. Literally 3 ingredients. And what they are is 3 equal parts. And I'm going to start out with my maple syrup. I'm going to throw my measuring cup across the room. And I'm just going to use 1/3 cup because it's just Eric and I eating this tonight. So I'm going to do 1/3 cup of maple syrup, like so. And then I'm going to use bourbon. Now you can use any brown liquor, but bourbon has a lasting flavor, which is why I like to use it. You can certainly use a dark rum, a spiced rum. Any dark liquor is fine, but I like to go with the bourbon because we're cooking the alcohol out. So the remaining flavor is really what we want. And the salmon isn't actually going to get drunk, and we don't want to either. And the reason I'm telling you to do this on the counter is because alcohol is very flammable. And we don't want to accidentally spill our alcohol and have a call to 911 in the process, okay? And then it's just 1/3 part butter. That's it. 1/3 stick, well, 1/3 cup, 1/3 cup, 1/3 cup. If you're serving a big plank, just increase it incrementally until you have enough. Now, We're gonna put this on to our stove, but we're gonna cook it very low and slow. Because of the flammability, we don't want to flambe. We just want to cook it nice, low and slow. And cook the alcohol out. That'll take about 10 minutes. I've got my oven preheating, and I'm gonna cook this down. Just wait until it comes up to a slight rolling boil. We don't wanna go nuts with this. Go slow. And then I'll show you how to glaze it and what it looks like afterwards, okay? I'll see you in a minute.